So my inner knowing thingy and I were having a talk, and I said, okay, well, if I'm not needed here, what's next? My interface with my inner knowing thingy is like, it sounds like voice to me in the same way that I imagine a blind person sees when they tap their cane, like they see with the echolocation, but it occurs to them like sight. This occurs to me like having a conversation, but it's not in English. It's not in words. It's more like playing hot, cold, seeing if I'm closer or whatever. But so my inner knowing thingy, the answer was Taos. So Taos it is. It was this really just huge room filled with mattresses, and my job was to sell mattresses to people who came in and to straighten up the beds after they left. When I was doing that, I was dead. And it made no sense for me to get up every day and leave the apartment that I spent all day working at a job that made me dead so that I could pay for it. It just didn't make any sense anymore. I couldn't even figure out why it was important. It's like I used to carry Coach bags. Like I used to have a $400 purse and I had a $700 laptop bag.
You want to see a picture? This is what I looked like. This is when I was doing it right.
And those things mattered to me. I thought those things made me happy because I was plugged into a system that is not designed to allow for true happiness. Anyway, they closed the store and I got 26 weeks of unemployment. And I used that time to like really take radically good care of myself and like develop a radical self-care regime. And I got really well and I lost 100 pounds in the entire process. The unemployment was up, my lease was up, and I was well for the first time like in my adult life. I realized I had literally nowhere to be. I had literally nothing on my calendar. I was single, I was well. I didn't have any money. But I no longer had an anaphylactic allergy to onion and garlic. I could go eat out. I made a sign that said, great hugs. When I was offering the hugs, I never asked for money because I really felt like it was not okay to tie those two together. But very often we'd end up in a conversation where people would ask me why I was there. And I would say, when I wake up in the morning and I'm hungry and I literally have nothing, I can still give hugs. So I'm just giving hugs until breakfast works out. And then I usually got money. Why are we here? I mean, are we here to just like sit at desks and push paperwork around? Are we here to just create things that nobody should really be consuming? Or what are we here for? Are we here to market things that people really shouldn't be consuming? Are we here to deal with litigation for people who consume things that weren't good for them? I mean, what are we here for? The money is the tool. The money's not the thing, right? You can't eat money. You can't hug money. You can't get... Money doesn't give you any... It's a piece of paper. It's a promise. It's an understanding. It's a language. It's a tool. But it's not actual nourishment. Money doesn't actually nourish you. I didn't learn that lesson until I had literally nothing. Everything I own fits in my car except for the mirrors, and that includes all of my bedding. That includes all of my kitchen stuff. That includes all of my clothing. That includes all of the physical memories that I have. Well, what kind of world would it look like if there was nothing to be ashamed about? If you could just live your life exactly how you saw fit, how you thought you should live your life, as long as you weren't hurting anybody. I'm not hurting anyone. I don't hurt people. Sometimes I make their lives a little more challenging because I bring awareness to things. But it's in alignment with goodness. I don't do things out of alignment with goodness anymore. It hurts me too much to do it. Even to the point where like I have to like have this really deep meditation session over driving my car through butterfly mating season. I have literally nothing to lose. I don't care what anybody thinks of me. Like, all the people that I cared what they think about me are dead, pretty much, or, like, not paying attention to what I'm doing. So, like, I have total freedom to just do whatever the universe is telling me to do. And I've gotten in pretty good alignment with my inner knowing thingy, because I consult it all the time. It's really funny how, like, quickly it steps up to, like, be a savior when you, like, give it permission to do that. The old paradigm is about force and power and have-tos and the right way of doing things and rules and because I said so's and obedience and consume. And so the new paradigm is where we do what works because to do otherwise doesn't work, and we do things that are sustainable because to do otherwise is unsustainable. And we take care of each other because we understand that we are only as functional as our least functional people. Waging war on other people when there are no other people, when we're all one, when we're all connected, you know, creating suffering for others creates us suffering for us. It's not sustainable. And then we don't do anything to, like, process the suffering. We, like, drink alcohol and watch TV and have devices in our hands distracting us from the experience of being alive so that we're not collectively processing our shit. Experience everything there is for you to experience. Say what there is to say. Do what there is to do. And get into alignment with your inner knowing thing.